Welcome to the Daily Devo. My name is Jeremy, and today we're going to talk about restoring a brother or sister in Christ. I want to start off by saying restoring a brother or sister in Christ is messy business. We must be committed to the process of restoration and keep a long-term perspective in our approach. I also want to make it really clear who I'm talking to about restoring today. I'm talking about restoring fellow believers, not people who don't follow Jesus. And I'm also not talking about people who are actively working in full-time ministry. That requires more explanation than I can give in a 3 to 4 minute YouTube video. But let's start out by reading Galatians chapter 6, verses 1 through 3. The verses say, "Brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently. But watch yourselves, or you also may be tempted. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. If anyone thinks they are something when they are not, they deceive themselves." As believers, we have a responsibility to support and restore one another when we stumble and fall into sin. The Apostle Paul provides us with practical guidance in Galatians 6, 1 through 3 on how to extend grace and restoration to our fellow believers. First, Paul urges us to restore those caught in sin gently. This means approaching them with a non-judgmental attitude and an understanding attitude. Instead of shaming or condemning, we should listen with compassion and offer a safe space for them to share their struggles. And by choosing gentleness, we can create an environment where healing and restoration can begin. Next, Paul reminds us to watch ourselves. This means examining our own hearts and our own motives. We must be aware of our own vulnerabilities and temptations, ensuring we don't fall into the same patterns of sin. Additionally, it involves avoiding self-righteousness or a judgment mindset. By focusing on our own growth and vulnerability, we can better empathize and relate to those we seek to restore. And furthermore, Paul instructs us to carry each other's burdens. Notice this verse doesn't say carry each other's stress, worry, or anxiety. What it means is actively engaging in the lives of those who have fallen. We can offer practical help, such as providing emotional support, praying with and for them. It's also important to recognize when something is out of our ability to help or out of our ability to lend wisdom to. Recommending someone seek the help of a professional isn't abandoning them or not helping them carry their burden. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is get people to the best place and people to get help. Lastly, Paul warns against self-deception. This means humbly acknowledging our own shortcomings and limitations. We should avoid thinking that we are immune to sin or superior to others. By regularly examining our heart, confessing our own sins, and seeking accountability, we can create an environment of authenticity and grace. This authenticity encourages others to be open and vulnerable about their struggles, facilitating genuine restoration. Restoring others can be a challenge, but with God's help, we can do it. Let's not give up on others, but rather, let's strive to point them back to Jesus. Thanks for joining us today on the Daily Devo.